Breaking now at 11, sources tell us a man shot in Grand Rapids has died. We're live tonight with what happened.
Plus, investigators say that he burned down a sex shop to eradicate porn. Tonight, we know who police have behind bars.
And look at these temperatures. Not only can we set some record low temperatures overnight, but a few spots may be colder than they have been at any time in the last 20 years.
And a Target 8 investigation. We're exposing the agencies that's supposed to protect you from negligent doctors is taking too long to take action. We're asking the state, why the holdup? Good evening, everyone. I'm Marley Ginter.
And I'm Brian Sterling. News 8 at 11 starts now.
This is a breaking news alert from 24-Hour News 8.
Off the top tonight, one person is dead after an apparent drive-by shooting in Grand Rapids. This happened earlier this evening on Jefferson Avenue, just south of Hall Street.
24-Hour News 8's Heather Walker has been breaking developments online all evening. She's live at police headquarters now. Heather?
Marley and Brian, good evening. Police are questioning about 6 people right now, trying to figure out who's responsible. They have not released the identity of the victim. We do know that it's a male in his 20s. Now, according to police, the male was shot while inside a car. Originally, there were 2 people in the car, the victim and a relative. The relative got out to go inside a home. Once he was inside, police say the victim planned to hop in the driver's seat and take off, but he was hit by a spray of bullets. He was hit at least twice in the side and his stomach region. He died from those injuries.
The witness indicated they heard several shots and found a relative of theirs slumped over in a vehicle.
Now, if you have any information about this shooting, you're asked to call police. This is Grand Rapids' first homicide for the year. Live at Grand Rapids Police Department, Heather Walker, 24-Hour News 8.
Now, Heather, I know you were in the middle of all of that for quite some time. Were you able to hear any rumblings on the street as to what may have happened, why this may have happened to this person?
No idea, Marley. This happened very quickly. Within a matter of seconds, people heard the gunshots, and then one witness did report saying they saw a car go by. However, if that car was related to the shooting is unknown.
Well, hopefully police are getting answers right now with those people they're questioning. Thank you, Heather, for that live report.
We're learning some new information tonight about the man accused of torching an adult store in Kalamazoo. Co-workers have identified the suspect as 41-year-old Mitchell Hapner. He's expected to be in court tomorrow on an arson charge. 24-Hour News 8's Ken Kolker is in Kalamazoo with what he's learned tonight.
Police say Mitch Hapner admitted to setting the fire that destroyed Hollywood Nights because he wanted to quote-unquote eradicate porn. What we don't know is why here at this small adult shop in broad daylight on a busy stretch of Southwestnage in Kalamazoo. A GoFundMe page set up to rebuild Hollywood Nights blamed it on a quote-unquote confused individual who thought he was doing God's work. Hapner worked about a mile away as a hair designer. The owner of the shop confirmed he was self-employed there, but she refused to talk about him. We tried his nearby home, but while somebody was there, nobody answered the door. We also checked his criminal record, which shows only a conviction for misdemeanor assault back in 1991. Now, this fire started just before 5 yesterday afternoon and leveled the business, which was closed at the time. Witnesses saw somebody running from the store with an axe. Deputies spotted the alleged getaway vehicle, which led to a short chase before Hapner's arrest. Police later found that axe near where deputies had spotted the car. Now we expect to find out much more about this investigation tomorrow when Hapner is expected to appear in court. In Kalamazoo, Ken Kolker, 24-Hour News 8.
Sure, you saw a lot of this heavy snow caused just a mess all day long along the lake shore, shutting down highways and causing several crashes. Tonight, that snow is finally starting to wind down, but we're stuck with a very cold night. We have team coverage watching both stories. We want to start with Storm Team 8 Chief Meteorologist Bill Steffen. Bill?
Wow, it is cold out there. Just got the latest 11 o'clock temperatures in. Grand Rapids down to -5, Kalamazoo -9, Big Rapids -17. Cadillac now -22. This is Allendale. We've got a weather station out there that is showing a temperature of -11 at Grand Valley right now. That's how cold it is. We still have some snow showers to talk about. This is out over Lake Michigan for the most part, but these are coming onshore. A few flurries down toward the Benton Harbor South Haven area, and if you're going to be along the lakeshore, especially south of South Haven tonight, there will be a few of these that are left, but they have wound down quite a bit. We have the wind chill advisory. Very cold temperatures expected expected here tomorrow morning. And there's a look at current readings that have just updated. -14 at Fremont, -15 at Mount Pleasant. There'll be temperatures up there that are -25. Some places as cold as they have been since the mid-90s. Here's the way it looks for us. Temperatures bottom out at about -12 here. We may start to see temperatures rise a little bit as we get toward daybreak. Kyle's got more on what's ahead here for tomorrow.
Well, thankfully, Bill, most of us have calm winds right now, but we do have a 3-mile-per-hour breeze in Big Rapids right now. So look at the wind chill. 28 below zero now in Big Rapids. Feels like -5 in Grand Rapids. Calm winds now, so that's the air temperature, but we will have a breeze for most of the night. 14 below wind chill right now in Ionia, and it's -16 in Lansing. Leota right now, which is near Big Rapids and Cadillac, -29 air temperature right now. Crazy cold out there across especially central and northern Michigan. Here's what happens with wind chills and temperatures overnight. Air temperatures fall down to the teens below zero in most places. We're forecasting 12 below in Grand Rapids. Wind chills 15 to 25 below zero overnight and tomorrow. And we will be a little bit warmer, double-digit high temperatures tomorrow, but those wind chills hold mostly in the teens or the single digits below zero, which is why we have school closings for tomorrow scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen.
All right, thanks, guys. Daybreak will bring you live updates on your forecast and school closings tomorrow morning starting at 4:30.
Within a matter of about 2 hours today, Sean Jarrett was found guilty of raping an elderly Granville woman and charged with killing a woman in Walker. Jarrett and Berta Reyes were co-workers at a greenhouse in Walker. She disappeared from work on April 24th. The next day, when police went to the greenhouse to ask questions, Jarrett quit. Weeks later, on May 16th, Reyes' body was found on a construction site. And then in June, Jarrett broke into the home in Granville of that 85-year-old woman and raped her. A jury found him guilty on that case this afternoon. And then we learned prosecutors were charging him with murder in Reyes' death. Jarrett has killed before. He was convicted of raping and killing a 64-year-old woman in Pennsylvania in 1982. He served 30 years in prison and then moved to West Michigan after being freed.
If a doctor's accused of harming a patient, you'd hope the state would move quickly to investigate. But Target 8 found it can take years for the state to bring formal complaints against doctors. Target 8 investigator Susan Sample examined complaints filed by the state within the last year.
In half of the 47 cases I examined, the state took at least 2 years to file a formal complaint. That's 2 years from the time the state first received the allegation. And while the state can suspend a doctor's license while it investigates, it doesn't often do that, instead letting a doctor keep practicing while the state investigates. In page after page, the alleged misdeeds of Michigan doctors. From a nursing home patient who died after a fall, in part because her doctor had her on too much blood thinner, to the patient who developed heart block during surgery after his doctor failed to get a cardiac consult despite the man's history of heart trouble. The patients are protected in these pages, identified by initials only, but what happened to them allegedly at the hands of their doctors is laid out in clinical detail. In one case, a cardiologist failed to notice fractured wires in a pacemaker. Another doctor failed to notice a plastic cap she left inside a patient's body during surgery. One doctor lost privileges at a hospital after injuring one too many patients during hysterectomies. Another misplaced a lap band during bariatric surgery. Then there was the doctor whose excessive pain med prescriptions led to 4 separate overdose deaths. That doctor was suspended for 6 months and fined $25,000, but those sanctions didn't come until last fall, though the state received the initial complaint against that doctor in 2011.
That's unacceptable.
State Senator Tanya Shootmaker has pushed to improve the state's process for policing doctors before. When we showed her Target 8's analysis that the state at times takes 2 to 4 years to investigate doctor complaints.
Certainly 120 days should be the norm, and any longer than a year is just, it's outrageous.
Turns out the department in charge of investigating doctors agrees. The process is too slow. A spokesperson told Target 8 that the Michigan Bureau of Healthcare Services is currently systematically reviewing all of its processes to improve the efficiency of its regulatory systems. BHCS has recognized the need to improve the timeliness of the investigatory process regarding health professionals.
The department that oversees this board or vice versa needs to do a much better job at protecting the public from these dangerous doctors.
Here's what you can do to check up on your doctor. You'll find a link to the state's searchable database inside our story at woodtv.com. Here you can find out if the state has sanctioned your doctor before. It will also show if there's an open investigation, but it won't show details until the doctor is actually disciplined. And that's a process the state says will soon move much faster. We'll be watching. I'm Target 8 investigator Susan Samples.
There's good and bad news in a new report on child well-being in Michigan. The Kids Count report released today by the Michigan League for Public Policy finds that while some factors improved, economic security declined between 2006 and 2013. According to the report, 1 in 4 kids lives in an impoverished household. That is a 35% increase over the 6 years studied. The report also ranks counties on child well-being. Ottawa County tied for the top spot with Livingston County. Kent County came in at 26th, where 23% of children are below the poverty level, a 40% increase over 6 years. Muskegon County is ranked 79.
And here are some other stories we're following. A new study says Michigan's charter schools don't have high enough standards, and they're not being held accountable. And ice caves are once again forming along the shoreline of Lake Michigan. A Metro Detroit police officer is amazingly okay after being hit by a car. You can see all those videos right now on woodtv.com.
Coming up, we'll tell you about a tricky new scam out there that the state police are warning seniors about tonight.
And take a look at some of these temperatures. These are current temperatures at Grand Valley out in Allendale. It is now -10. They just were -11. Leota's in Clare County. That's not too far north of Mount Pleasant. 28 below. Cadillac has now dropped to -23. How cold's it going to get? We'll tell you straight ahead.
Always tracking, always alerting. This is Storm Team 8.
Well, the snow has finally tapered off in Holland and along the lakeshore. Some places picking up anywhere from 12 to 18 inches of snow from this system. There's still some open water out here on Lake Michigan, and that's causing some lake effect, but it's pretty light right now. It's kind of brushing Oceana County, coming on shore down toward Benton Harbor. It's all pretty light, and for the remainder of the night, there really shouldn't be much. Inland areas are mostly clear, and that's where the coldest temperatures are. Wind chill advisory covers everybody, runs till 10 o'clock tomorrow morning for wind chills. And some of those cold outlying areas down to 25 below zero come early tomorrow morning. Downtown Grand Rapids, daybreak 9 below zero. That's downtown. Outlying areas will be much colder than that. Winds are going to turn around south and be very light here for the early morning, but then pick up a little bit during the day. These current temperatures, wow, it's -7 at the regional airport in Holland, -9 Kalamazoo, we're -5 Grand Rapids, Lansing down to -7, double-digit below zero temperatures to the north. Big Rapids headed to -25 come early tomorrow morning. And like I said, one of the colder nights that we've had here in the last 20 years. These are high temperatures. The high tomorrow is going to be 7 degrees warmer than today. We made 7 today, coldest high temperature that we've had in 8 years. 14 for tomorrow, still pretty chilly. Warmest day is Saturday, which will be a good day for winter sports, by the way. Temperatures warming up a little bit, shouldn't be too bad, but then more Arctic air comes in by Sunday. Once again, temperatures more than 20 degrees colder than average for this time of year. Winds are going very, very light, and like I said, they'll start to come out of the south here as we approach daybreak. Wind chills extremely cold with this cold temperature pattern. That will be the case here right on through the night into the morning hours tomorrow. So once again, a few evening snow showers down toward the Benton Harbor area, below zero temperatures everywhere, and the cold is going to continue right on through the whole rest of the month of February. A few thin clouds come in here during the day tomorrow. By about early afternoon, we start to see some snow showers develop and move across the area, and that could produce an inch or two of snow here come tomorrow afternoon. Here's a look at what we expect. About 15 degrees tomorrow afternoon, chance for a few flurries. Cold day, especially if you're going to be in the wind. We're going to be seeing temperatures warm back up into the upper 20s here Saturday. We will be seeing more snow showers here as we slide on through the weekend. No big storms come our way, but Wow, look at those temperatures. We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days in the teens.
Exactly.
And the average high is 35.
Exactly, so don't get too comfortable,
Oh.
right? It's going to get even colder. And
Yeah.
Kyle was out today enjoying all the cold weather,
That's
right?
right.
We are at a Charlie's Dump, which is a sledding hill out in Jenison, and there's actually some science here. I borrowed a child's sled designed for a 12-year-old, as I'm sure you can tell. And in my hand, I'm holding a wind chill instrument. At the top of the hill before we started, it was -10. Down at the bottom, right there before I wiped out, it was 20 below. So it is a little bit colder as you go down the hill. Here's the GoPro view of the wipeout. It felt like I was going so slow, so I'm shocked the wipeout was such a scene.
I was waiting for a selfie to show up somewhere
Right.
on Twitter or something.
What you didn't hear was the audio of the kids saying, "Mom, that man
Right.
took my sled."
That's what it looked like. He was just watching you go by on his little sled.
So if you see my picture on like milk cartons in Jenison or
Right.
on power poles, that's because
get the
somebody's
sled
missing
back.
their
You're
sled.
out of the
Right?
gulch.
Thanks, Kyle.
Thanks, Kyle.
Coming up, there's a new scam targeting seniors in West Michigan. Up next, what authorities are saying you need to look out for.
Targeting the elderly. We're learning of a new scam out there just hitting the area.
Tonight, state police were out talking with seniors and their families at a senior living community in Grand Rapids, warning them about what they need to watch out for. 24 Hour News 8's Tom Hillen was at the presentation.
People of all different avenues are being taken advantage of because of this generation's just propensity for kindness, for giving, for caring about the others in their community. And the generation that's taking advantage of them use that as a tool.
Seniors are often the group that falls victim to scams from people saying they are their grandchildren, claiming they have been arrested or are in the hospital and need money.
If it's too good to be true, it is.
Trooper Martin Miller also says seniors are more susceptible to scams offering them large sums of money.
Use their common sense. Nothing in this world came to them free. So expecting $1 million for sending $20, that's just not realistic. For winning a lottery that they did not enter, that's not realistic.
Trooper Miller says a new scam hitting the ground now, unexpected package delivery, where a person calls to say they have a package to deliver to you. Then they show up dressed in a uniform with that package, telling you there's alcohol in it, and for that reason they need you to pay a small surcharge. They have you scan your debit or credit card and sign for it, making it away with your credit card info and a copy of your signature. He reminded people tonight you should never hand out any personal information like your social security number, bank account, or credit card info. Trooper Miller says the best way to determine if a call is for real is to get the company or organization's name. Then you look up their contact info on your own and call them back so you know who you are talking to. He also says you can call 411 or even the Better Business Bureau to check someone's legitimacy. Trooper Miller will also be giving another presentation at Holland Home next week. We have that information of where and when inside of our story right now at woodtv.com. And of course, these are tips not just for seniors, but really for all of us.
Right, absolutely. And that package one, that's a new one out there.
Yeah, they're always popping up, always something different. Gotta always be on your toes.
Tom Hillen, thank you.
The Pistons pick up 2 new players, including an old favorite. Jack has the details next in sports.
Here's life in the D-League in a nutshell. Drive coach Otis Smith woke up this morning believing Spencer Dinwiddie would be in his lineup. But when the parent club, the Pistons, traded DJ Augustine, Dinwiddie was no longer an option for Grand Rapids. Drive opened the second half of the season at home at the Deltaplex against the Fort Wayne Mad Ants. First place in the Central Division here, Brandon Fields, nice lob to Willie Reed. 19 points, 18 rebounds for the D-League All-Star. Game was tied there. CJ Fair penetrates lay-in, and the Mad Ants led by 4 at the half. Second half, Drive takeover. Fields fakes the 3, and then great move in the lane, draws the foul and 1. And then Kelsey Barlow, pretty feed to Hashim Thabit. He hammers it down. Drive win, final score 94-80. On to the NBA, where the Pistons made 2 deals before today's trade deadline, bringing a new point guard and an old face back to Detroit. The point guard is the key move here. Reggie Jackson was Russell Westbrook's backup in Oklahoma City, but he wanted a starting role, so he asked for a trade. Jackson's stock rose considerably when he averaged over 20 points and 7 assists a game during a 13-game stretch where Westbrook and Kevin Durant were injured. He also played very well in the postseason last year. 3-team trade to make this thing happen. Pistons give up Kyle Singler and DJ Augustine. All the Utah Jazz were also involved in this deal. The other trade the Pistons made was picking up Tayshaun Prince from the Boston Celtics. They give up Jerebko and Tome in return, but Prince played most of his career in Detroit. All right, to the track we go for the duels at Daytona. Under the lights and temperatures in the low 30s, the final qualifier for Sunday's Daytona 500. There you see Dale Earnhardt Jr. late in the race, slingshot move into the lead. And then late in the race, he got help from teammate Jeff Gordon on that slingshot, and then here for a block, and Earnhardt holds on and wins it. And then in the second duel, a couple of big wrecks here, lap 36. 4 cars get taken out, among them Alex Bowman, Sam Hornish, Jeb Burton, and Austin Dillon. And then late in the race, there you see Danica Patrick's number 10 car gets spun out. She does survive and make the big race, though, so Danica Patrick is in it. Jimmy Johnson, the winner of the second duel. Finally, it's another Thursday night. Time for a look at some of the good, the bad, and the ugly in the world of sports. Time to serve up another side-splitting bunch of Dole's Bananas.
Hey, Banana Bunch, I hope you're as fired up about this bunch as weatherman Jim Cantori is about thunder snow.
Oh, yes! 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 We got it, baby! We got it! We got it! Woo!
That guy must really love his job. Just like this bird must really love the camera. Dude, out of the way or we're gonna miss an amazing dunk by Hollis Jefferson. Oh, that's embarrassing. He could use a tip from Victor Oladipo. Better yet, he might want to study the tape of slam dunk contest champ Zach LaVine, who breathed life into a contest that frankly needed a boost. That's great stuff. So's this. Ronaldo with some fancy footwork feeds it between 2 defenders to Marcelo, who says hello to the back of the net. Better yet, check out Luis Suarez with the bicycle kick for Manchester U. On the ice, goalies have been downright stingy this week. Tuukka Rask of the Boston Bruins. Carolina's Cam Ward makes an amazing save. And check out Pekka Rinne. No wonder he's one of the front runners for the Vezina Trophy this year. Goalies have been great, but I'm not sure there's one on the planet that could have stopped Jason Spezza on this move, or Radim Vrbata, who is on the receiving end of an amazing between-the-leg pass by Chris Higgins. Yeah, incredible, but this week's top banana is TJ Oshie of the St. Louis Blues. One of the best assists you will ever see.
That's fancy.
Wow, it
Style
is.
points.
A lot of them. Thanks, Jack.
Bill's in next with a final look at your forecast.
A lot of folks on Bill's blog letting me know how cold it is in their town. -10 in Walker, Leota, Clare County down to -31, and it's 11:30 at night. See how cold it is in the morning on Daybreak, 4:30 to 7 at WID TV, and online all night, widtv.com. Enjoying the party, staying warm.
Thanks for joining us. Have a good night.